Hi, John here. It's Tuesday today, the 28th of April 2015. Just calling Shannon Parker from the New Zealand Police Conduct Association, just to follow up. To my complaint.
Hello, Shannon speaking.
Shannon, look, it's John Wanoa in Auckland here speaking.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you earlier because I lost sight of the complaint, and then I just suddenly discovered it yesterday. So I'm just going up to the police station today to see Dennis Culverwell and to see what they've come out with, because he's looking after the...
You did realise, didn't you? I got your email and then I was just reading a second one. Well, they're not even emails, they're just being posted to our website.
Yeah.
But you've been reposted the complaint or something. You know that we're not the IPCA, don't you?
Yeah, I realise that now. There's another site, something like that, but I think I got mixed up. But I just wanted it out in public anyway, for our own interest in the public here in Auckland of what is happening. I haven't got no reply from the police commissioner or anyone.
Well, you wouldn't. The police commissioner doesn't reply to that sort of thing. So have you actually filed a complaint with the IPCA?
I think I have. Yeah, I've just got to go and see again if I have. I might have mistaken it to be you instead of them.
You've sent it to us again.
Yeah.
Telling me you didn't realise it was us. You then put it through to
Yeah. Sorry about that.
The IPCA. No, it's fine. But the IPCA has their own website.
Yeah.
And they are the email address that you included in it, which is inquiries@IPCA.
Ah, right. Yeah.
That needs to go through there. But if you haven't done that, can I make a recommendation?
Yep.
This is what we do. We help people
Yep.
put complaints
Yep.
to there. If you haven't already sent them one, you need to change it.
Uh-huh.
And by that, all I mean is, when it gets investigated, then you go and make statements with police and the police will contact you. But to begin with, it just needs to have enough in it so that they will take it and respond to it.
Right.
Which is only points of law.
Yeah.
For misconduct.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yep, I know what you mean.
So,
Yeah.
for example, if you're... Because to be honest, I don't understand what's happened. And your letter is like it's been written to someone that knows what's happening. And you have to count on the fact that it's not going to the people involved, so no matter who you send it to, whether it's the IPCA, whether it's me, or whether it's Mike Bush, he doesn't know. He's not privy to it. And so it has to be on such and such a date, and you can name the police officer, did this. I mean, you don't have to name the acts or the law because they should know that. However, if you know them, you can.
Yeah.
I recommend that people do. It shows that they, do know it.
Yep.
But it just needs to be on that. Because even from reading your bit,
Yep.
Your whole page thing, I couldn't understand what the rest of the misconduct is meant to be.
Right. So all it really was the policeman that pulled me up. I've got two policemen, one that told me to go ahead and one that came and upset the contract. So you got two police conflicting each other on me being 6 years. I've been on this case for 6 years and they got all my records. The whole police department got it. But this one man policeman just came along and he's gone and put himself right in the middle of a contract. By stopping me from... I'm like a debt collector. Debt collector can go straight in, but I'm not licensed. But private people like me can do that if you know the law. And I'm accusing...
I'm a debt collector, so I know all about that.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm accusing too many people and no one's responding to anything. So really, everything I've said hasn't been contested by anybody for 6 years. And so all I know is it's a big fraud case that I'm doing, that my lawyer is a convincing lawyer, and because I haven't got money to pay them, I'm doing as much as I can myself, then give it to them. Then they'll find it is a fraud case. A big
Well,
fraud.
they may. They may. Okay, so your actual complaint then is that you were given conflicting information by two different police officers.
Yes. Yes, one is saying, you go ahead, but don't break the law, so I didn't break the law. And the other guy, the old people that I've been with for a long time, know what I'm doing and know that I'm in Admiralty law. When you start playing with Admiralty law, that's in mortgages and fraud, financial interest things. And then he's got a complaint. I haven't even got any written complaint, what the complaint was from the public who rang up, and they knew where I was coming onto the site, but they were, it should have been a lawyer's problem, not a police. The police should never get involved in the...
So did somebody phone the police?
Yeah, somebody, I can't identify who rang the police, and they had their own police, I had my own.
So what you're saying is someone phoned the police,
Yeah.
and the police then came out?
For them, yes, and I've gone there on the police. I've gone there on the police.
If the police get a complaint, they are obliged to act on it, or
So-
they ignore many. So basically what you need to do is put in an official request for information asking for a copy of the original complaint or a transcript of the 111 call if 111 was called. But if it wasn't and someone called a station, either way, the officer that dispatched someone has had to do a job number or lodge a case
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
So you need to request that. Have you done that?
No, I've only addressed the policeman who is on my side of knowing what I was doing, because I've recorded everything over the counter, and they knew I was going there. So it's not as though no one knew I wasn't going there.
Yeah. You've just said that it's 6 years and they're ignoring you. So what you need to do is firstly, you need to request that information so that you end up with it, so you know what's happened and why. Especially if you're trying to address a complaint, you need that information. You don't want them having it and you not having it. You need to request the entire file on the incident so that you've got that. And then your complaint is that you were given conflicting information by two police officers,
Yep.
resulting in... Were you arrested?
No, they just escorted me off the site.
Resulting in police attending. You know, it's that simple.
So,
The more you write,
yeah.
the less people are going to read, either. Whether you put that on my website or you put it to anyone else's, the more you write, the less they're going to read. They'll get a paragraph into that and they will not read it. So you're not achieving anything by doing it anyway. It gets more confusing. And in regards to the complaint, you actually have to have a breach of policy, procedure or law. And if you've written an entire thing and haven't identified any, they won't even investigate it.
So even though that I've gone to great lengths to point out there's a fraud, it actually is a fraud, but they are covering the fraud because I'm accusing too many people. They're not. If I went to court, I'll have that much information to take to court, and they won't be able to stand up because they're not answering to affidavits that I'm accusing people, and it becomes serious when one or the other is wrong. And they've got me on record as what I'm doing. They have gone into the contracts and interfered with the contract with what I was doing. I'm following the contract law, and those police don't know contract law because they're not a lawyer. And yet I've known from talking to my own lawyer and to the private investigator that, as far as I'm concerned, I have gone as far as I can with not being licensed to do what I'm doing as a private...
I can't comment on that because I don't have any of your paperwork, and I'm not a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, this is how the process works.
Yeah, I see.
We do.
Yeah,
This is how the process works.
I see.
Help them with complaints.
Yep.
And I know that from being in a battle with the police for
Yes.
10 years myself.
Okay.
So I do know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
However, I'm not commenting on your specific case.
Right.
The comments I've made to you, because I haven't seen any of your paperwork,
Yes.
are generic comments. But I did notice, because I've actually read something else about you that you've put online
Yes.
a while ago.
Yes.
I read it because I'm interested in that stuff,
Yeah.
because that's what I do.
Right.
But I'm telling you, and I know this from years of doing this, your average person is guy's not going to have read past the first paragraph.
Right.
And also from a complaint perspective, the police and the IPCA close off complaints for any reason possible. They look for reasons to not investigate them and to close them off. If you haven't managed to point out in a letter that's that long any actual breach of policy, procedure or law, the actual breach, or even the incident, like until you said it to me right now, I didn't grasp that your complaint was really solely about you got given conflicting information by two different officers.
So I've got all the acts of Admiralty in there, in all the documents on Facebook. There's a whole ton of it there of the case, right down to the last piece of act that they've broken. And it's thorough. I've gone right through it to make sure that I've got the right acts for everything I do, but it's too extensive to actually, you have to go and download the whole lot of the documents I put with a king seal in it. It goes right across their seals. I'm supposed to be in England as the king's surrogate partner. That's why they won't go near it.
I don't know anything about that, but under the Crimes Act, there's certain laws, obviously. So you weren't arrested, so obviously you didn't breach the law. However, so separately, in regards to your complaint, it's that simple. You're complaining that you were given contradictory information by two different officers, which resulted in the police then interfering. As far as them investigating your criminal complaint, have you just been emailing them like this, or have you actually gone in, made a statement and filed a criminal complaint?
I have methodically put things in order with the right acts, to the right ministers, to the politicians, to the police commissioner, in great detail. That's what you see in what I'm writing. It's just a fraction of the whole case. And my lawyer has got...
I'll just ask you that question again. Have you gone into a police station?
Yes, they won't let me. They won't let me complain over the counter. They will not let me complain because the old guy there, Geldenhuis, has been there for many years, knows what I'm doing, and they won't let me complain over the counter. I've been wanting to complain.
What does he say when you go in there?
I mean, I'm complaining about that policeman that pulled me up, and he doesn't know the law about contracts. They're not supposed to interfere with...
What does he say?
He won't say anything. He won't answer. They won't. They shut their mouths and say nothing.
So you stand there, say you're there to file a criminal complaint, and he doesn't speak at all?
No, Geldenhuis says, you come to me when you bring new information, bring it to me. When I asked, did anybody ring into the station to say I was there? Because I went there more than once onto the site, and they said no, there's no complaint. To Geldenhuis has been on my case for over 6 years, and he picks all the information about what happens on their block. No other policeman picks it up, just him.
No, and that's fine because that'll be his job. So you do have an officer assigned to the case?
Yeah, I got a new one. I've been through that many police officers that I had to start all over again, the cases again.
For me to help you, or even engage in this conversation, there's just those points I need to know. So, there is a criminal complaint in, and Calvin's got it.
Yeah, okay.
But you feel he's not doing anything about it. So that will be why they're not retaking your complaints when you walk in, because there is one lodged, and you know the officer dealing with it.
Yeah.
So when you try and speak to this Calvin now, he just ignores you, does he?
No, I'm going up there to see Dennis Culverwell. Because what happens is every time I go there, they go away and they'll disappear and go to another assigned place, and then...
Do you have an appointment today? Or
No, they said just come straight in, because I've been talking to Geldenhuis, because Dennis went away for annual leave, and so I had to wait. I've been waiting, and then I'll go see him today, and he'll tell me what the outcome is. Yeah.
Have you got an appointment, or
No,
are you just going up?
No, I'm just going up because that's how I do all the time. I just go straight in and they'll come out.
You don't have an appointment, so you
No.
may get nowhere today.
I rang for an appointment, but they said no, just come straight in. That's his Dan Forrest is there as the Dennis's boy doing his paperwork while he was away.
So you are still in talks with them? They are
Yeah.
in
Yeah, for Dennis. I'm just waiting for Dennis to see what he was going to say about Dennis is more senior old person that knows Admiralty. When you start mucking around with Admiralty, you're in real trouble if you get it wrong. And so what the young fella did, Tim Duffy, he don't know that law, and whoever complained had no right to complain because they weren't the landowner. They were somebody from the public.
That's irrelevant. People ring up and they make complaints. It's up to the police to make
yeah, but I've already put a trespass in there on the property that's not supposed to be there. And I'm in the right when it comes to the law of contracts, because I know it back to front for what I do.
So anyway, you came to us about your complaint.
Yeah.
So I've given you my opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to relodge it via the IPCA.
Okay.
And I would shorten it a lot. And
Yeah.
most of what you've written in there.
Yeah.
Once you've filed a complaint, they will require you to come in and make a statement anyway.
Okay.
Like I said, it needs to be. It doesn't. I mean, yes, the circumstances matter to a degree, but they don't. They need to know what your complaint is about.
Okay.
And with that, you have no clue. I mean, yes, you've outlined lots of issues. I'm not saying it's not obvious. There's not an issue there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I read it. I've read it several times. I've read something put online somewhere.
Yep.
And I have no clue what the actual problem is, or even understand what's happened.
Right.
I'm not a complete idiot. Yes, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I'm not a complete idiot. I do this every day.
Okay.
Now, if there's one thing I do know, is they will get rid of a complaint for any reason possible.
Even if it's a fraud. Even if it's if my lawyer's saying it's a fraud.
A complaint's a complaint.
Okay.
A complaint to the... We're talking about your complaint.
Complaint, yes. Yeah.
They don't deal with fraud. They investigate police.
So if all I'm saying was that policeman made an error of judgment and in not checking what the complaint was about, because those people who rang had no right between me and a third party. They're third parties to my contract. They owe me money.
Without knowing the finer details, it's actually not correct. If they made a call, it must be because they knew something was happening or an argument.
But they didn't. Yeah, but they knew I was coming. They knew.
They road right now, and if anything happens in front of me that's got nothing to do with me, anyone's entitled to phone the police.
Yeah.
So that's fine. What I'm saying is, if you're writing a complaint, it needs to be clear.
Okay. Yep.
Just meaning,
yep.
Anyone is entitled to ring the police. I'm picking up and phone them right now. It doesn't make me right, but I am allowed to ring them.
Okay, yes.
So the issue is not that the people called.
Yep.
The issue is with what the police did.
Okay.
Now, you've already established one issue. One issue is you were given contradictory
Yes.
information by two different officers,
yes.
which has caused an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a complaint.
Yes. I get you.
It's also quite clear in one sentence what you're complaining about.
Instead of me babbling on. Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes, I see what you mean.
The IPCA, Mike Bush,
yes.
Well, we don't contact Mike Bush about criminal matters.
Okay.
Well, he's there, he oversees the police. I mean,
yes.
don't get me wrong there.
Yes.
But if you're wanting to file a complaint about police conduct,
okay.
Then it is, you go to the IPCA. So then it only needs to be about the conduct.
Okay.
What happened before, after, or during, or with the matter you're dealing with
yes.
is irrelevant to the complaint.
Right.
However, in saying that, you can complain that there is a criminal element in your allegation that the police are ignoring.
Yes.
So you can say it just like that.
Okay.
All of that stuff you've written is all about circumstances
Babble.
no one
Yes.
understands but you.
Yes.
When they're investigating it, you still have to look into it.
Right.
But
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you
It
mean.
needs to be crystal clear
Yep.
what you're complaining about. Now, if you're going to the IPCA, then it needs to be about police conduct.
Yes.
That's all they do.
Ah.
If you're going to the police
Yes.
about a criminal matter, like you keep saying fraud, then your complaint is, so-and-so committed fraud, here's my evidence. End of story. If they then look at your evidence and go, well, that is evidence of fraud, then they will need the background, then they will need whatever they need.
Yes.
But sending people, screeds of stuff, the only reason I do what I do is because I got shafted by the police.
Okay, yes.
Now, what I was doing pages of my version of events.
Yes.
And 9 pages had nothing to do with anything.
Ah,
It was just
okay.
me venting, or me getting my point across, which
Right.
is irrelevant to the fact
Yes.
of whatever you're complaining about.
Yes, yes.
The IPCA will never put this in writing, and neither will the police.
Uh-huh.
They can't be asked reading that stuff. They can't, and in amongst all that stuff, they will be able to find one thing that is wrong, because
Right.
all of us are wrong about something
Yes,
at
yes.
some stage. There'll be something in there that is a grey area or is wrong. They will pull that one point out, and they will say that it's not correct. And instead of investigating the entire rest of it, they'll go, it's not correct, we're not taking this any further.
Ah,
So
that-
basically, I'm putting this in layman's terms.
Yes, yes. Okay, yes.
I mean, by all means, copy and paste what you sent me and send it into the IPCA, but it's not really clear what you're
No,
complaining about.
no, I'm going to shorten it,
And
yes.
I can almost guarantee it will get ignored
Yeah.
as well.
I'll shorten
But
it.
if you can narrow it down
Yep.
to exactly what you just said before,
Yep.
2 officers gave you conflicting
Right,
information,
right.
which resulted in whatever it resulted in.
Right,
It's
right.
like drama for 6 years.
Yes.
But if you do have an officer still talking to you at the
Yep,
moment
yep.
about your fraud complaint,
Yep.
has he looked at the document? Has he given you updates? I'm assuming not, if it's gone on 6 years.
No, Geldon Heiss is passed it on to the detective because he's not a detective to do detective work on
How long ago did he tell you he'd done that?
who Geldon Heiss.
How long ago did he tell you he passed it to the detective?
That was on the 31st when I went down to the land. Oh, no, after the 31st of March, and he said to me, "Look, you go to Dennis, and he'll deal with it." The detective, the older guy. So he's only the station manager, and so but he's picked up all my stuff, and you know, but I've never got any feedback from him because when somebody rang in on the 30th, when I went onto the site, they said the police said for me to leave, so I left and I went back to the police station, but there's no complaint that came in for that, so I went back on the 31st onto the land block, and so I'm going back to the police to get clear with the one I'm talking to Dennis, and see what he's going to say about it, because really. He had to get his head around on what's happened because it was Aaron Pascoe before he was the criminal detective, and he left, and so I had to start all over again with a new policeman and go through the whole rigmarole.
Aaron hasn't left the police.
No, he's gone into Harmon House and Harlech House in Manukau, but he's out of jurisdiction area. Harlech House, yeah. And not who?
Oh, another police station.
Yeah, but he's not in the. They had to be in the jurisdiction area of Admiralty because they're using that lady Karen Malthus. She's from Tasman, South Island. She had no right to do even the roast busters up here because she's out of her jurisdiction area. But they've been playing up. I know what they're playing up with the police chopping everybody around. They don't have the right authority to do what they're doing to me in Admiralty and mortgages, the fraud mortgage, and when they look at it, they should have checked before they, because I'm billing them now for whatever I want in Admiralty. They got to pay it because they've broken that law, and so I'm sticking it to them on that side, but it doesn't get me back on the land. They're still playing around with.
Is it your land? Because I really have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. So.
Your land.
Yeah, it's my ancestors' land that they forgot they wouldn't put our name on the Lynn's title. Those are British titles I'm doing, the British titles. I'm straight to Westminster. I'm over here, so they've corrupted the British title of Auckland with the Lynn's title. They're supposed to put our names of the original.
That's a whole thing that not many people are going to know about, though.
No, they don't know that. They're ignorant of the law of Britain, because Britain's still got a hold on this place. And I'm the original landowner, not the ones that are not the iwi, they're not the owners of the land. If they were in court, they'll get thrown out. Because they've only set it up, the Crown's only set up who they thought would be the owner. In fact, they're not. Yeah, so that's where I'm stepped in.
Why is your lawyer contacting them then?
Because I've got no money to pay him, that's why. I've got no money to pay him. The $400 an hour, I don't have that sort of money. So I've done as far as I can go. All I had to do is step on the land and bring them in. because if I had money, I'll pay them. $3,000, it's all over. It's all over. If they come in and take over, because that's what the private investigator done. He's the ex-Scotland Yard. He's doing my case. I had to pay him $3,000. He'll come in and clean the whole lot of them out on what I've given him. But I'm doing as much as I can, so there's less work to do for him because he still needs information from me about this whole country. The titles that the Lens has omitted to put the titles right. This is with my Rogan family. They're the judges that put all these titles together from Britain. So that's my family that did all these British titles, and then the Australian Lens titles came over the top of it. They got a problem with that. We go to court. They can't hack this lot. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. As why didn't they put our name on the land block? Because I've got a legal right to get it back because they're committing fraud on me, and then nobody's saying anything. Eventually,
but the police haven't done that.
No, the police.
They can only work in with what.
Yeah, what the complaint is. Yeah, they're there for the public. But when it comes to the law of mortgages on the land still belongs to my ancestors. They're only using instruments.
It needs to be proven, like you need to go to court for that.
No, I don't go to court because I'm doing it outside of court. Because the judge doesn't have the jurisdiction of Admiralty. They don't have the jurisdiction as much as I do straight to Britain. They cannot talk. The judge is...
Do you see the issue there by saying that then? So you're saying that none of them have got this jurisdiction?
That's right. They only use a pedal. I've got the seal of the king. I've got the seal of the king who created the Admiralty mortgages. King William IV created the pound notes and the law and the land titles here, not the Lens. They were only instruments of mortgage.
But what I'm saying is everyone is operating under, the judiciary and all the rest of it, including the police and under the Crown. So
but the Queen is gone. They don't realise the Queen is at EU Parliament. It's a conflict of interest. They're swearing to the Queen who's not there. These are all the things I've got on Facebook. And everybody's ignorant of the fact that she is in EU Parliament now, selling off Britain, and that's why it's gone to pieces. I'm going there to save it.
As I just said, your average citizen here is all operating under the Crown and the judiciary.
So that's
how the police...
Yeah, so that's why I'm billing the whole lot of them for fraud of having a Queen that's not there. She's not there on their documents. They're in the courts. I'll say to the judge, look, who are you swearing your oath to? In Australia, they swear the oath to the law, not to the Queen. Not to the Queen. Yeah, so I'm saying I'm the King. I swear to the King and nobody else, because the King put this Admiralty and these titles in this country together, not the Queen. So I'm coming from that angle.
Nothing I can really do about that.
No, you've done really well. You've done really well. I thank you for letting me know.
I'm sorry I can't be more help, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, you've done really excellent by telling me to cut all the little bits out.
If you want to send it through to the IPCA, just shorten it and clarify it to what the police have done.
Yeah.
Leave out all the rest about the and everything else.
Okay.
Because no matter how you look at it, that is how you look at it, obviously.
Yeah.
And most other, people in New Zealand, right or wrong, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yes.
You go to court, there's the can't even say it now, judiciary,
yeah.
the Crown, the police. That's how it operates, and that's how it all proceeds.
That's right.
So the IPCA, they actually do none of that anyway. All they do is investigate police.
Yep.
You will confuse them by all that talk.
Yeah, I know.
To what the police have done.
Yeah.
But if you want them to take you seriously and take your complaint, just shorten it to that
Yep.
and email them at the inquiries at IPCA.
Yeah.
And you should. It might take a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Do not respond immediately.
Yep.
In a couple of weeks, you usually get a standard letter which says we're making inquiries. We'll get back to you soon. That is standard. Everyone gets it.
Okay.
Then a couple of weeks later, they can drag this out forever.
Yes.
It usually takes 3 weeks before you even know what's happening.
Yes.
But that is how it works, okay? So
Okay.
just keep that in mind.
Yes.
But try that, okay?
Okay.
Just to get those couple of points about the police officers out.
Yes. Okay. I've learnt quite a bit from what you've told me.
There are some things that even if we don't agree with them, look, personally, I think the IPCA is ridiculous. I think it's not independent, and I think it's a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
However, that is the process that has to be gone through.
Yeah.
And every now and then they uphold a complaint. So,
Yeah. Okay.
But it gives you something to work with.
Yes.
But if you want to know, and this is another thing, even if you don't care who phoned in that you were there, if you ask for the police file, it includes police job sheets and notebook entries.
Yes.
So someone has to document that someone rang in, someone has to dispatch the officers.
Yes.
That can give you quite a bit of information just there.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
You tell them you want the original complaint, you want the job sheets of the officer that dispatched the officers out.
Yes.
And you call it an official request for information, and then they are legally obliged to reply to you within 21 working days. And if they don't, you can go to the Privacy Commissioner because you will be entitled to that information.
Okay.
It's very handy, okay?
Okay. Okay.
And you never know. There may be anything in there that you can end up using against them, but you don't know until you've got it.
Yes. All right. I've got that in my brain now, and I will go to it. Okay. Thank you.
All the best, okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Shannon, for that.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, that's a long mobile call. So, okay, that's, oh, I'm on video. All right. That's Shannon Parker giving me a little bit of stick about writing long things. And so I'm going to make it very short now, and I'm going to make it really, really short.
You're going to miss everything.
So anyway, that's us for that part of it. We're going to go down and see our policeman afterwards and sort it out. Bye.
And I'm still working on the site.
Yeah, carry on. From Jamie and me, we say, bid you good day.